morning.
Good morning. Hi, is that Douye?
This is Douye. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you? Yes.
Well, I should say good afternoon.
Yes, it's
Good
afternoon
your
here.
time.
That's right. Yes, but it's very early for you. It's about 7 a.m., isn't it?
Yes, it is. But
Wow.
it's good. It's all right.
Thank you.
I've been home for now, maybe 15 minutes ago, so I'm good.
That's great. Well, thank you very much for agreeing to do the interview so early. It's lovely to hear your voice. So whereabouts are you in the world exactly?
I'm in Los Angeles, and that's in the state of California in America.
Wonderful. That's absolutely lovely. And I'm trusting the weather's probably quite nice.
Oh, it's very nice. The day just started for me, but it's come down. The sun is getting, to rise now. So it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Sounds absolutely wonderful. And I'm glad that I finally got the pronunciation of your name correct, because I wanted to make sure that I got that right before I called you.
You did. You did.
That's lovely. And so the name, it's a Nigerian name?
It is a Nigerian name. It's an indigenous Nigerian name. My parents are from the riverine area of Nigeria, and that name is from that part of the country.
Wonderful.
And it's a beautiful name. I like it.
It's lovely. It's very unusual, and I think it's got a rather unique sort of signature about it. It's lovely. Oh, wonderful.
It is.
So can I ask you, going back to when you were a child in Nigeria, what was it that made you interested in music, Douye?
Well, when I was growing up, I listened to all kinds of music. My dad was a lover of music. I mean, he loved music quite a bit.
Yes.
And he had exposed me to all kinds of music, from African music, which is the Afrobeat, and
yes.
Of course they had there's another kind they call high life kind of music. It's more like a blues kind of sound,
Quite
but
familiar.
It's called high life.
Yes.
And of course, the Western kind of music, from the Beatles all the way to, the jazz greats and the blues greats and all kind of music he would play. And I was just so taken by all of that, and I just ran with it. I became so much involved in it, and I looked forward to always listen, to his collections that he'll play, just about daily, especially during the weekends.
Wonderful.
And eventually I just told him that, listen, I want to do this. I want to do music. And he was quite encouraging, So I'm very grateful for that.
That's lovely. And so did you want to be a singer straight away, or did you take up an instrument? What happened there?
No, I didn't even think of as a singer. I thought of as a writer initially. Yes. And I had expressed to my mother that I want to, write music, lyrics. And she then spoke to my godmother, who was then a music director at a church. And so they got me involved in the choir there.
Oh, lovely. Yeah, well, that's great. That's wonderful.
And that's how, when I got into the choir, of course I had to sing, So I started singing and writing poems in the process of all of that. And then my godmother told me that you got a voice. There's a voice in you, Douye. So we need to hone it, because I think you just will go places.
Sounds wonderful.
And, that's how everything started. And I think I was about 7 then, 7 years of age.
Wonderful. Do you remember your first time where you had to do a solo at a young age?
Oh, gee, I think I was about... In the choir, I was about maybe 10.
Wow.
And then, I went on to form a group, a petty group, And, we did some singing, but that was about, I think then I was about 14, 15, somewhere there,
Wow. Wonderful.
What a journey.
It sounds absolutely great. And poetry was the thing as well, wasn't it, for you for a little while? You wrote quite a
Yeah.
bit. Yeah.
I used to always, read poems, just to get an idea of how writers do write poems. And
Mm.
I got so fascinated by that. And that just geared me to want to write lyrics and all of that.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So who would you say your main influences were in your life?
Wow. Gee, there's so many. Well, in terms of Africa, I love Fela. I love Fela Kuti. Because
Yes.
my dad used to always play Fela Kuti. And there was another guy called Osadebe. He's also gone, but he's from Nigeria. He was a Nigerian musician.
Yes.
My dad used to always play his music as well. But he played more like the high life kind of a thing.
Yes.
And I liked it because he had like a very nice, smooth sound to it. And I took from that as well. And in the Western world, I love all the jazz greats, all the jazz vocalists. I mean, I listen to all of them, from Ella to Billy to Dinah, Etta. I mean, every one of them I listen to.
Wonderful.
And as I started coming up, I listened to R&Bs and stuff like that.
Yes.
I used to like those great ones, the guys. Well, Ray Charles. I like Ray Charles a lot.
Wonderful.
I like his story and I like his music, and of course I like Anita Baker. I like Sade, and people like that.
Wonderful. Well, that's a wonderful list because it covers such a vast scope, really. When you go from sort of Billy and Ella on the jazz side of things, and Diana, and then you come across to Sade. Wonderful, absolutely great.
Oh.
So your move to Los Angeles, was that a tactical move based on music, or were you moving anyway? What made you go?
Yeah, it was a tactical move, a conscious move. I just decided to come out here. First of all, I like the weather because it reminds me of Africa.
Wonderful, yeah.
It's very tropical out here in Los Angeles. I just love the weather, And of course, music, I thought about it consciously, and I said, listen, I got to go there. That's the heart of music in America, So I decided to come out here, and I went to a school called Musician Institute.
Yes.
And went there to study voice. And right after that, one of my instructors there then introduced me to now my co-writer, Terry Shattuck, who is also a British born musician.
Yes, yes.
So we started working together, right after school. And, we've been working together since then.
That's right. I mean, you're on your sophomore album now, and you had a very clear definition in your mind at how you wanted this to be sort of a step on from the journey. So perhaps you could tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I am a person that will always like to, push the envelope. I like to push myself and challenge myself. When we did the Journey album, that was just the beginning of everything.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, we did it, and then we started talking about going further to do a second album. A couple of years after Journey was made, and I told Terry Shattuck, I said, listen, it's got to be better. It's got to be better than Journey. Otherwise, or there should be some sense of a development compared to what Journey is. Because I want my fans to see that I'm growing and I'm expanding my scope, and I don't want to be stagnant. I don't want to do the same thing. I want things to be better. And he said, okay, let's go for it. It might take a little time, but we can do it. And that's when we started writing. We wrote quite a bit of songs together. Just to get to...
I read about 50, wasn't it? You had
about
50
60
pieces.
songs.
Yes.
Yes, 60
wonderful
songs. And we decided, we picked 16 for this album.
Yes.
I recorded 16, but I dropped 3. Because I just felt, they didn't quite match the album, So
yes.
I ended up with 13, and it's been great so far.
Wonderful. That's absolutely great. And you had involvement from Dapo Turamiro?
Yes, Dapo Turamiro. He's from Nigeria as well. He's a Nigerian-born musician and a producer. I'd reached out to him. Someone actually referred me to him whilst I was looking for producers. Because after the writing, I started looking for producers.
Yes.
And he reached out back and was very, very cordial.
Wonderful.
Excuse me. And we met, and I presented some songs to him, and he came back with a fine work. And, so he made the cut.
That's wonderful, because quite a history there with him, with sort of John Legend and Justin Bieber and Tony Braxton and yourself. How lovely, it's a wealth of experience, and
yes,
wonderful.
Yes, all the producers that worked on this album, So Much Love, I tell you. Quite a bit of accolades they have behind them.
Well, yes, because I was reading some of the people that they sort of worked with, sort of before this album, and there's a whole host of big names there.
Yeah.
But you didn't just pull the stops out on the musical production and writing, though, because you involved Hugo Mosey on the photography side and for the album cover, and pulled out all the stops, really, didn't you?
Yeah, we went all the way with this one.
No expense.
Well, like I said, I really wanted to, show my followers, that I'm trying, I'm giving my best. Any project that I do, I always give my best. I gave my best then when I did Journey, but I thought, okay, now I know better on all levels, in terms of making an album. Okay, I'm going to take it to the next level. I'm going to take it to the next step, and that was my goal with this album. I want to say I did that.
Well, it's wonderful. I love the jazziness of the So Much Love track. It's not just R&B. It has a whole kind of life of its own. Maybe you could tell us a little bit more about how you feel about that tune.
Oh, gee, So Much Love. That song is such a beautiful song. First of all, before I finally recorded that song, I think I went through maybe 6 or 7 producers just to find the right producer for that particular song. Just for that particular song.
Wow.
All the producers that I met, they were lovers of Fela Kuti's sound,
yes.
and they have elements of Fela Kuti's sound, but they weren't quite there. And the song itself was directing me. I listen inwardly, about things and all that. And every producer that I met before, the one that produced it, Mr. Okunlolo, they just weren't even there. They would present, all manners of tracks for the song, and it just wasn't quite there. It's not that they weren't great. They were very good, but they just weren't the right the right producer for the song.
Yes, yeah.
And when I finally, first of all, it took me 9 months. It's not 10 months. I finally find Mr. Okunlolo, and when I met him, my God, I just felt so much at peace that this is the guy.
Yes. Something
He's
just
going to
dropped
do
into
it.
place.
Yes,
yeah.
Something different about him.
Mm-hmm.
That, just touched me spiritually.
Wonderful.
And when we met, it was just like magic. He knew what to do. He got at all the musicians. he found all of them. All I think we had maybe like 16 musicians all in one go. Just like Fella's experience, really. And we produced, we did the whole production, it was a whole day thing. We started 7 in the morning, and I think we didn't finish till like 3 or 4 in the morning.
Wow.
The next day. So it was really an experience, but it was so worth it. I enjoyed every bit of the experience,
Wow.
to see how people take so much to heart to want to do right in making a song.
Well, yes, but I mean, Douye, thank you for sharing that, because that's an absolutely beautiful story, and I love that. That's great. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that.
You're welcome.
So, I mean, you describe yourself as having a 90s sort of urban R&B sound. I mean, what does that mean to you? What's that choice for you? Is that
still,
yeah, sorry.
I still love that era in terms of sound.
Yes.
Especially with the R&B sound. I just think that era, the sound, they had more substance. They had stories. I don't know. That's the way I look at it.
Yes, yeah.
R&B then, they had stories. Even if it was a dance kind of a song,
yes,
there was still a fine story behind it, and very melodious, and it was just catered differently to what R&B is today. That's the way I say it. And so I guess I'm stuck there.
Well,
I'm stuck with that era. And I wanted to revisit that. Every time I try to write stuff, it's like my sound goes back to revisit that. And I just said, okay, it is what it is. So I have to embrace it. I have to appreciate it and stay that way. And so far, my followers, they see it that way as well. Like, okay, my sound reminds them of the,
yes,
the classic R&B. That's what it's called, classic R&B sound.
That's right.
Which is, from back in the 90s.
It's a classic 90s R&B urban sound with a little special Douye touch over the top, which I think gives it the edge.
Thanks, Ryan.
So yes, it's a very special sound, and very much enjoying the music that you produce there.
Thank
Wonderful.
You.
Well, so what's the future holding then for Douye?
Oh, gee, the future. It's so amazing how people they're already asking me, so when is the next album coming out, Douye? Like,
well, you had plenty of tracks, didn't you? So you've probably got a few spares.
Well, I guess, it's a path that I've taken in life, and so it's not going to end with just this album. This is my second album, and I look forward to doing more great music. It's got to be great, otherwise, it's got to come from my heart, otherwise I don't want to touch it. So, I look forward to making, more great music, that I can use to connect with the world, and speak the language of music and love, because my music does have a lot of love to it.
The
and,
international language of
nice.
music.
Yeah, and of course, get to tour around the world and, connect with the world.
Fantastic.
And get to meet people that don't know of my sound and get to find out about me and stuff like that. So, yeah, I think there are big things happening, that will be happening for Douye in the near future, and I'm just open to receive them as long as it's all, it's all good.
Sounds great, Lee. It's been really lovely talking to you, Douye. It really has, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I would ask you if there's anything you'd like to say to your fans here in the UK and across the world, because we do broadcast to the world. Then please feel free to say anything you want.
I want to say I love all my love pups. I call them love pups. I love every one of them. I do. I really do. Even though I haven't met all of them in person, which I know. But, I do have so much appreciation and respect and love for my fans, my followers, because they give me reason to want to forge on, to keep forging on.
Yes.
This particular album, So Much Love, is actually dedicated to my fans.
Wonderful.
If you read the booklet, that's what I said. This album is dedicated to my fans.
Yes.
So I do appreciate every one of them, and I hope to, get to meet every one of them as I travel around the world, and get to touch them and hug them and shake hands with them, and laugh with them and maybe cry with them. Because sometimes when I sing, I get teary. I don't know why, but
Well,
it's
very
Douye.
emotional. Very emotional. That's lovely. Wonderful.
So, that's pretty much it. I do appreciate every one of them, for choosing me to be part of their world,
Well, I think it's lovely that you feel that close to them. I think that's a very beautiful thing, and it's certainly an advantage to any artist to feel that close. I think to their admiring audience.
Yeah, I'm grateful.
That's wonderful. Just one last thing, because I'm conscious I've taken up a lot of your time, and I'm really thankful for that. And thanks for sparing the time with us.
Oh, it's okay.
But
I enjoyed my time with you. It's been nice.
Oh, that's
it's
lovely.
Been very nice, and I'm grateful.
That's lovely. I just want to say a massive thank you to you for taking the time with Sound Fusion Radio.
Thank you so much. I do appreciate you. I appreciate your love.
Well,
for everything that you've done so far. I really do.
It'll be wonderful. Lovely music and a wonderful interview. It couldn't be better, could it?
Oh, well, that's a kiss for you and to England.
Oh,
England is like my second home, so.
I'm blushing now, look, see?
Well, thank you so much, and you have a beautiful day.
You have a beautiful day too. You have considerably more day left than we have, but have a lovely day.
Already.
Thank you very much, Douye, for your time. Take care now.
Oh, you're welcome. All right. Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.